Well, hello there, fellow sojourners, and welcome to another edition of Appropriate in the Culture. On today's episode, we discuss the recent and sudden corporate trend to opt out of Mother's Day. I'm Pastor Shane, I'll be Mr. T today as we treat our mothers right and appropriate some culture. So a memo seems to have been sent out to all advertising departments as suddenly multiple corporations uniformly decided that Mother's Day is a deeply triggering and traumatic day for many, and so thoughtfully have offered the ability to skip all Mother's Day ads by opting out. Etsy put out this message. We understand that this time can be difficult. If you'd prefer not to receive Mother's Day emails, you can opt out by simply clicking below. We'll continue to send you unique ideas and crafted finds from imaginative sellers. And if you're in the market for mom jeans, you might miss some deals as Levis is also offering an opt-out saying, "Hey there! So Mother's Day is just around the corner, and before we start bombarding you with mom-related content, we just wanted to check in first. We know motherhood and all the associated feelings, emotions, and memories can be tricky and even triggering for some people. The last thing we want to do is hit you with celebratory "yeah, mom" energy that doesn't match up with your vibe. So this year, we're giving you the option to opt out of our Mother's Day content here. You'll go to levi.com, but don't worry, we'll put your email on a special list. That way, we can make sure only those who actively want Mother's Day related communications will receive them, and those who don't, won't. It's that easy. Always thinking of you, Levi's." Always? That's kind of a creepy thing for my pants to say. Nespresso also helpfully provided an opt-out. Prefer not to hear about Mother's Day? With Mother's Day coming up, we understand this can be a difficult time of year for some. If you would like to opt out of Mother's Day emails, you can simply click below. We'll still keep you up to date on other Nespresso news. Well, thank goodness, that's my number one news source. Full disclosure, I used to be an anchor for Nespresso News. Good evening, I'm Nathan Shane Miller. Our top story tonight, Nespresso introduces a new limited edition flavor, Tropical Coconut Over Ice, which consumers are calling delectable and tropically delightful, though some critics argue it's merely delicious. In other news, Nespresso has declared war on Poland. On the order of the president, at approximately 6:13 a.m., Nespresso fighter jets entered Polish airspace, where they met with fierce resistance. Initial Nespresso intelligence indicates that tactical mission imperatives were successful, but heavy casualties are being reported. May God have mercy on them. May God have mercy on us all. I think I might need to stop doing ATC. This is getting weird. Anyway, Fry's also put out a statement. We know Mother's Day and Father's Day can be sensitive times for some. If you'd like to opt out of our emails and push notifications for these holidays, please tap below. Don't worry, you'll still receive all of our other emails. So obviously some word has gone out, or they all went to the same advertising conference. But I think it's notable as to which holiday was selected for this sort of treatment, as really every holiday can be difficult for some people. 4th of July can be triggering to the Brits, Christmas can be triggering to Jews, Thanksgiving can be triggering to the impoverished, President's Day can be triggering to runner-ups, and Pride Month can be triggering to anyone with a moral compass. Although I doubt corporations are going to let you opt out of that one. Yes, Mother's Day can be difficult for some people. Some people want to be mothers but are struggling with infertility. Some people have recently lost their mothers. Some people have challenging relationships with their mothers. But if the mere sight of a Mother's Day wish list or a 25% discount on decorative soap elicits deep emotional trauma, then your problem isn't junk mail, and I would suggest that you opt in to a therapist's office. But I think the real danger of this on a cultural level is that it's yet another thing to degrade, devalue, and diminish the family. I mean, forget your mother. And who would even want to be a mother, right, Chelsea Handler?
This is a day in the life of a childless woman. I wake up at 6 a.m. I remember that I have no kids to take to school, so I take an edible, masturbate, and go back to sleep. I wake up at 12:30 p.m. and get ready for a busy day of doing whatever the I feel like. I put on my most impractical and stylish shoes since I won't be chasing a child around the grocery store. I go to my fave spot in Paris to grab a croissant. I do a meditation sesh on the plane since I have no screaming kids, allowing me all the time in the world to become enlightened. The weightlessness of my existence has granted me superhuman powers. I teleport myself back home. I invent a time machine. go back in time and kill Hitler. And that's a day in the life of a childless woman.
Yes, who needs kids when you can pretend to time travel and masturbate? How very enlightened. But it's not just sad, talentless comedians, it's regular women too. The US birth rate is declining, and according to Pew Research, more and more women are opting out of motherhood. And why not? It's not as if motherhood is essential to society or human flourishing. Two dudes are just as capable of nurturing and child rearing. Mothers are superfluous and non-essential. If we could define what men and women are, which we can't, we would find that they're totally interchangeable. The fact of the matter is, our culture has been promulgating opting out of Mother's Day for a while now. We've promoted the idea that childlessness is liberation, we've obliterated male and female distinction, and made motherhood expendable. It seems only natural, then, that we should take the day that is meant to celebrate and honor motherhood and taint it as problematic and traumatic and difficult and triggering. Better opt out. Memory hole the whole concept. Make us atomized individuals without mother or father or familial bonds. But I think what is really surprising, actually, is that the church has been at the forefront of this movement. Not that we opt out per se, but increasingly, churches across this nation start off Mother's Day and Father's Day with a trigger warning. We say things like, "We recognize that this can be a difficult day for some." And I know that seems like compassion, but I think it's foolishness. When the Bible says to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn, I don't think it means simultaneously. I've never been to a funeral and heard the pastor say, "This is a hard day." But we need to recognize that for some people, this is a really good day. This is a day of rejoicing and celebrating for some people. Some people are just having the time of their lives, and we just want to acknowledge that because we want to rejoice with those who rejoice. Not simultaneously. That's wildly inappropriate. There is a time and place for things. Or how about this? I've never been to a wedding and heard the pastor say, "This is a good day, a joyous day." But we have to recognize that for some people, this is a hard day. Some people have lost their spouse. Some people have been through divorce. Some people are struggling to find a soulmate, and they're wondering if they'll ever get married. And there's a lot of pain there. And so we recognize that this is a hard day for some people. That'd be really inappropriate, wouldn't it? Because that's not what the day is about. Not everything is Festivus. It doesn't have to start with the airing of grievances. And we actually don't have a biblical mandate to be a Debbie Downer. And there is no biblical mandate to acknowledge or throw a personal pity party in the midst of a celebration. But we are told to rejoice with those who rejoice. And Mother's Day, despite what our culture might be telling us, Mother's Day is not a day of mourning. It is a day of honoring and celebrating. Your personal feelings do not matter, because motherhood and mothers are worth celebrating and honoring. You can have sad feelings. It can be hard for you. But Christianity calls us to something beyond our feelings in service to the good, the true, and the beautiful. Don't opt out of that because of your feelings. All right, that'll do for today. If you like what we're doing here, like, subscribe, rate, review. Happy Mother's Day to all of you this weekend. And in honor of Mother's Day, I'll leave you with the immortal words of Mr. T.
Treat her right, treat her right.
Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right. Mother, I always love her, my mother, so treat her right, treat her right. M is for the moan and the miserable groan from the pain that she felt when I was born. O is for the oven with its burning heat, where she stood making sure I had something to eat. T is for the time that she stayed up nights and took my temperature when I wasn't feeling right. H is for the hard-earned money she spent to keep clothes on my back and try to pay the rent. E is every wrinkle I put on her face and every worry that I caused when I stayed out late. The last letter R is that she taught me respect, and for the room up in heaven that I know she'll get. Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right. Mother, I always love her, my mother, so treat her right, treat her right.